Okay, for my coil basket, I want to add a piece of cord. So I ran out. I need to have at least a couple inches of it unwrapped in order to add my extra piece. So about, I don't know, 2 inches is good. And I want to cut this at a slant. So I want this cut at a slant, kind of like how you did at the beginning when we did the middle bottom. Okay, so this is at a slant, and then I have my new piece. So I have up at school pieces cut for you to go get extra cord. So you can pick up extra cord. I'm going to make sure the end of my new piece is also cut at a slant. That way they kind of fit together and they don't take up much room. So you do need some tape. So masking tape is the best. And all you do is you put your slants together so it ends up being like the same diameter. And, you know, we're just going to wrap right over this anyway. So I'm going to put my tape around it. And that's it. So I've added my piece, and then I just go back to putting my cord off to my side. I put my, I get my needle. If I want to start a new piece, remember I take the end of my new piece, I put it along with all my other ends. Doesn't matter how long they are or what's already there. And then I wrap right over it. Hold them in place, wrap over it. So I'm still doing like about 7 times. And do extra on that to cover up all my little pieces. And you just continue to wrap. Okay, so I've wrapped right over where the tape is. There's a little bit of a bulge, but it's pretty much just covered up. So you just treat it like it's the cord. Make sure you're wrapping in a way that covers that up. And so I'm going to keep wrapping and stitching until it is as tall as I want. And I'm still doing the figure 8 stitch. So I could just come back up and wrap like this, but I have been just coming like this in between and making like an X in between. But however you have been stitching it is fine. You're going to keep wrapping, stitching down a row until it's as tall as you want. So here is the added on part. So now I have all this cord that I can still use, and I will cut it when it's as tall as I want my basket. Okay, so I used up the rest of that cord, and I like my basket. I have plenty left. I want to have this blend in with this purple. So what I'm going to do, I want it only like this long, and then I want it to taper in. So I'm going to cut it from the side so it just kind of will blend. So if I wanted to match up with this color, then I'm going to use that to finish my basket. So I add in my light purple, whatever color you want it to be. And instead of wrapping and stitching, now that it's started, it's going to be a wrap and a stitch all the way to the end. So this is going to wrap around those 2 rows the whole way. I'm going to get rid of these little scraps. So it's going to be, I'm going to wrap around that, and I'm going to stitch it. Wrap around and stitch. So it's almost like sewing, but I want this to cover the whole cord. So I'm wrapping and I'm stitching all the way, and I'm going to do that all the way to the end here, so it just blends into the rest. Okay, so I've wrapped. I've got a little bit of that cord left, so I'm going to stitch it a few more times. So I'm just basically wrapping it and stitching it all at once. Okay, so now it's kind of come down and it just goes right into the rest. I'm going to do my last little time through, and this time I'm going to make a knot out of this. So I'm going to pull it through. Let's see. Make me a knot right here. I'm going to kind of sew it in there so my end will be kind of stuck. Take this, cut my end, and then I'm just going to work that in between the coils so I don't see it. And then you are finished with the top of your basket. Okay, so whatever color, you mess with this so it looks neat. So whatever color it is, you're just going to first cut your cord to a slant, and then I could have made this a little bit neater, but anyway. And also, if you make it a little longer, it'd be a more gradual kind of edge. So here's my basket. And now if I want to make a lid for it, all I would do is exactly like I did the bottom. So I would start and I would just make it so that it was the same diameter as the top of my basket. So this is the exact same method as you did to start it. And then you'll finish it the same kind of way also, where it's just the cord's cut and it's stitched over around multiple rows. And then you can attach it if you want. So like this was just sewn on with a tapestry needle and some yarn. And that's it.